Well, okay. So, at my defense, I did try to come on here right away. And, when you are, like I said yesterday, when you are a one man show, you have to do all the things. You have to post and set a thing and do the thing and the thing of the thing. And, oh, you guys can't see my candle. I mean, the candle's really for me, but, Yeah, so I had to set my ooh, next week I should be able to start using my camera. But anyway, I had to set a whole bunch of stuff and make sure that you know what, at this point it doesn't matter. Okay? The point is I jumped on here as soon as possible. And I got on here earlier than I actually anticipated. I was like, fine, I'll just do 1:30. So I'm here, guys. Okay, I'm here. I'm really sorry that I'm not here when I said that I was going to be, but I don't have any excuses except for the fact that I'm a one man show, one woman show, and I should probably just under promise more, right? I guess I just don't want people to not come. So I'm like, I'm gonna come right on. Come on, let's go. But I'm also trying to perfect this process. So forgive me as I am perfecting the process and what's going on. I feel like I look a little like, "Bah." I don't know what that was, but that's how I feel. That's what I feel like I've described myself in looking like. So, or how myself has described. It doesn't matter. I'm all tongue of the tide of the words. Um, so yeah, welcome to becoming a professional singer because that's the name of this playlist. And basically, you know, we started out on Instagram a couple minutes ago and we were discussing whether or not this topic is specifically for my new singers, my singers who have found out that they're hobby singers, but they want to be professional singers, for my newly embarking singers on maybe different areas of singing. So, say maybe you're coming out from becoming a background singer, but now you're becoming an independent singer and you're doing a lot of shows for yourself by yourself. Or say you're coming out from being a wedding band singer and you are going into doing background singing. Although, we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about that as well. Okay. Um, but yes. So I think that I think I have to give you guys my intro on who I am again real quick before we get started. One second. That sounded like PlayStation. Uh, okay. I had to jot this down before I forget. Listen, thou shalt know thyself, okay? Why is my computer doing whatever it wants to do? No clue. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. But I didn't want to forget that. Okay, cool. All right. So, yes. Welcome. All right. So, my name is Tanikka Charraé. I am a singer. I am a songwriter. I am from Philadelphia. I'm a professional singer. I sing independently. I also sing background with some of your favorite artists. And I've been doing that for about 13 and a half, 14 years. 14, I would say 14 years, 14 and even maybe 14 and a half years or so. I've been a professional singer for about 15 plus years or so. And I have a vocal agency called The Background View. And The Background View serves as a liaison between artists and elite vocalists. And we pair them together. And the other part, which I actually forgot to mention today, also on Instagram. But the other thing that we do is by we, I mean me, because it's literally just me, educate vocalists, singers on becoming professional singers and remaining professional singers. What that looks like, the financial sides of that, the business side of that. We teach singers to become business savvy singers. Me teach singers how to become business savvy singers. Of course, every time I go live, I'm getting all the everybody wants to talk to me. So forgive me for that. But anywho, so with that being said, that is who I am. That is what I do. That is why we're here. That brings us to here. If you look at the playlist, if you found this from the playlist or found me from my playlist, it's becoming a professional singer. And there's a lot of different topics that we explore in there. That's really, 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 really important. Like, I know some of them might seem like, okay, this might be common sense. It might be common sense for you, but it may not be common sense for Tom. Okay. It might be common sense for Tom, but it may not be common sense for Rashida. So I don't know. But I do believe that a lot of this information is necessary. And what I want to do is package it so that you guys can see it for free, watch it for free, take notes, understand what I'm talking about, apply it, okay? Because these are genuinely the steps in becoming a professional singer. And I say that because these are the things that I had to do. These are some of the things that, all of the things, honestly, because I'm not going to teach anything that I'm not doing. So, like I said, the other part of the background view is to educate vocalists and singers, vocalists, on becoming a professional singer and staying there, educating you in your finances, educating you in your leverage, educating you on what you should and shouldn't be doing, educating you on how to have longevity in this career. So that is what I'm passionate about. I believe that a lot of singers and musicians catch a bad rap that they are not good with their money, or they, slight themselves. And, even up and coming creatives will believe that they can't really pursue a life in creativity because it's not like our counterparts, the 9 to 5ers. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can be doing and should be doing as a professional creative, specifically as a professional singer, that will allow you to be awarded a life that is fulfilling, in a sense of being able to do things and move freely. Our schedule's already pretty, flexible and fluctuates. And the same is to be true for, or the same should be true for how you're able to move, even just financially, even just with leverage and, all those things. And I think that there's a lot of different ins and outs that I plan to teach that people just aren't privy to. And specifically my more beginner and intermediate singers. So I just want to impart some of that information on you guys so that you don't have to figure that out like later on. You can figure it out ahead of time and you can be ahead of the curve. So that's pretty much what I'm passionate about and what I'm out here doing. So with that being said, we started out a discussion on should beginning singers. So this cut my own self off. This topic is for my more beginner singers, my singers who watched my "Are you singing as a hobby or are you singing professionally" video, my singers who are really taking their singing more seriously, stepping it up, making their singing a business, my singers who may be shifting from one part of singing slash musicianship to another. And what I want to offer is a bunch of pros and cons in this specific topic. But that's who this one's for. This is also for the intermediate singer. This is also for even the professional singer, if I'm honest, because I try to have all of this like under the umbrella of everybody. But I really want people to actually like think about these things and like really process these things in real time in their life, like make it relative to you. So my life, the way I'm moving and doing things might look completely different if I apply this topic or think about this topic and what it is that we're going to discuss, where yours might be different too. So, the actual topic that we started out discussing on Instagram is, should you discount your services when starting out as a professional singer? The question again is, should you discount your services when starting out as a professional singer? And I actually gave the answer on Instagram already. And what my answer in short is yes. I do believe that you should discount your services when starting out as a new singer. And I'm going to unpack why. There's several different levels to this. And there's one major point that I really, 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 really want to clarify, that I clarified on Instagram and I want to re-clarify here on YouTube. But discounting your services does not mean that you are making your services free. I will repeat that. Discounting your services does not mean that you're making your services free. Okay. There's a difference in discounting and free. I mean, it just is. Okay. You know, if my rate is, I don't know, $3,500 a show, say for, just singing independently. Okay. I want 3,500. Cool. For 5 to 10 minutes. No, we'll say a 10-minute to 15-minute set. That's all I want. $3,500. Cool. Let's do it. My rate is going to be a bit different than someone who just started yesterday. Just because if you go back, and also I'm gonna link it to, oh man, I'm messing all the things up. There we go. Okay, kinda sorta. I'm gonna link it a little bit later, but I really, really, really want to link the video establishing your rate, because while this works in conjunction with establishing your weight, look at me, I'm all like blotchy. Okay, let me sit a little bit more flattering because I'm like contorted over here. But while this goes along with establishing your rate, this also, because that in the establishing your rate video, I give a formula on how you should establish your rate. I give a breakdown on what that looks like, and I also drive the point home like several times, is that all rates are not created equal. I just have to accept the fact that I'm gonna look crazy on this video. I'm gonna look like a little blah blah blah. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, yes, all rates are not created equal. What does that mean? That means that my singing the national anthem will be a completely different rate than me going on tour with Cher. Completely different rate though. Okay. My rate as an opener, who's been opening and does opening and has done it a lot, versus my rate in the studio to vocal produce, is a completely different rate, right? So all rates are not created equal. You cannot, and I gave the example of like a lawyer, and he was like, yeah, my rate for everything is $10,000. You know, if I'm putting my name on it and I'm typing you a letter, it's $10,000. If I'm representing you in court, every time I go up to defend your case, that's $10,000. I know that there's one trial, but every single, like, it doesn't work like that. So you don't work like that either. And that's the mindset that you have to have as a business, and as a business of singing. So I would really encourage you to watch that rate. What did I say? It's up. The link is, I don't know where the link gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be up here. I think it's gonna be up here. Establishing your rate. Very, very, very important video. And a very helpful video too, if I do say so myself, you know. But with that being said, there's that. I really want you to look into that, and then double on back if you're a newbie and watch this again, because this is just reminding you that you're still where you are in the game in terms of singing, and where you want to be. You should probably tap into goals as well too. I should probably link that somewhere as well. But where you're trying to be in terms of singing, you have to um you have to be realistic, okay? And if you are starting off as a new singer, chances are a lot of people do not know you. Now, I did give the example of, say, a singer is, I don't know, singing, I'm anything, right? I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with you. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it just goes viral, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, this girl can sing. This guy can sing. This is amazing. And it goes viral and everybody's hitting you up. And they're like, we know that you can sing. We want to work with you. We want this. We want that. We got all this money. In fact, we're going to offer you, we want you to go on our show because you've got a lot of personality as well. And so with your personality, like, per show, we're going to pay you $1,500. And you're like, oh my gosh, $1,500. All I did was sing, I'm living my best life. Like I could do that. $1,500. That's good. I know folks out here who ain't making no $1,500 a show, and y'all want to do 3 shows a week. So I'm technically making $4,500 a week. That's bananas. This money sounds crazy, right? I just started. I just sang one note. I just did one thing. You gotta listen. You gotta pay attention and read that contract. That contract, while it's telling you as a newbie, you getting paid $1,500 per show. Also is saying, and by the way, you have to be stuck with us in our show for 5 years. And your rate doesn't change, or it may incrementally go up by 5% per year. And then in addition to that, you can't do anything else. So you're only locked into us. So if you want to do your own, you could do your own. We'll let you do your own, kind of. But any other shows, you can't do it. Any other YouTube lives, you can't do it. Any other place you want to sing, anything past this point, you can't do it. And they've got all of these restraints and constrictions on you. And all of a sudden, that $4,500 a week is looking like jail, a 5-year bid. And that's how you have to process those fast coming contracts. So, anybody out here that's promising you the world, you really have to be like, I mean, I just started yesterday. So, and what I also explained is that experience and exposure is like currency in the music industry. So with that, and I coupled it, tripled it rather, with time, because, I talk about time and how important it is. How important time is and your time is. But I'm saying that to say that when you say you looking at the contract as a newbie, right? You've never sang anything and somebody's offering you something like this. You look at that and you're like, okay, well, maybe it isn't or couldn't be that bad. But at the same time, now you've shaved off 5 years off of your career. Boom. So 5 years, you can't do anything. Nothing. Not a thing. Nothing. And you've limited yourself just to this. Granted, you've got a steady income, if you will. But for 5 years, like the time, I told y'all, time is so important in general, like even outside of the music industry. But in the music industry, it's everything, right? Like that's why they call it your 15 minutes of fame. That's why, like, somebody could be here today and gone tomorrow, because time, that's how you can, see a scandal about somebody and then completely forget about it a year later. Because the way that time works in the music industry, it's real quick. And they look at you as pieces of something. So like, like, I don't want to say a piece of meat, but low key a piece of meat. So it's like there's an expiration on that. That'll actually die out at some point. Specifically like your independent singers and stuff like that, like, or your labeled singers, or like, whatever, like they look at you as like, all right, You good between this time. And I'm not saying that 5 years you cap off and that's it. What I'm saying is like, especially if you're young, they're like, oh, okay, I could do a lot with this. And then typically you take that artist and you grow that artist. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna grow this artist. But now I done shaved off 5 years of like some really crucial time and points. And so, yeah, people be like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to look at it that way. And a flip of that, say somebody comes to you and they're like, yo, we heard you do that little snippet of living your best life. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. We heard you do that little snippet of living your best life, and man, you sound amazing. We'd like to pay you $500 to come and sing and do I don't know, guys. I don't know why these examples sometimes pop in my head and sometimes don't. But say, I don't know, say they say, okay, we want to pay you $250 to come and sing the national anthem. And you're kind of like, I mean, $250, like, that's not really quite where I saw my rate at. You know, I'm $1 million singer. It's like, bro, don't nobody know you $1 million singer except for you and your mama. Like, that's it. So, with that being said, a little $250 to sing the song that, well, I can't even say that everybody knows because I done seen so many videos of all these celebrities out here that don't know the national anthem. But a little $250, a little $300, a little $400 to sing, you know, you got to think about like, okay, this is exposure. This is, you know, a big deal. This could, you know, take me to the next level. This could keep me current, you know, and then that comes with a whole bunch of other stuff too. That comes with content, that comes with validation, if you will, because people are subliminally being validated. You're subliminally being validated by getting such a gig, especially even if that turnaround is so quick, right? So these are things that are important to you as a singer and as a new singer, as a beginning singer, as a singer trying to establish your name in some regard. So you have to really think about things like that. I gave another example on Instagram that I'll give here as well. But, you know, I said, and I still stick by, if someone, and this isn't establishing your rate, if someone is like, hey, you know, we're going to, I don't know, we have a brunch, okay? Say it's the what's that brunch called? The Rock Nation. The Rock Nation brunch, right? It's in LA. It's a big deal, you know what I'm saying? We want you to come in and sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, right? And we want you to, you know, you'll be around the greats and you'll be around, you know, Quincy Jones, Puffy, DJ Khaled, you know, all the people. Beyonce may even come up and show and make herself an appearance as well. We're only able to really pay you like, I forgot the number I gave. I think I said like 300. No, I said like, you say, oh, okay, well, you know, my rate is 600, 650. And they're like, yeah, we want to pay you half of that. Now, you don't have a video that's gone viral. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody's checking for you. None of the things. It could go one or two ways. Okay, let me rewind. They say that they only want to pay you half of that. But you'll have all access. You'll get to be around, you know, all these different celebrities and you get to have different opportunities. Okay? Different opportunities. This seems cool. I said, because I was asked, do you account for that in your rate? And my answer still to this day is no. And my reasoning is because you're a new singer. While you might kill it, lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Yeah, you in it, right? Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. You gave your best. You sang your thing. You did your thing. And then Quincy Jones is there, and he's like, you know, you really can sing, but I can't stand them singers that be doing all them runs and all them little jazzy notes and all over the place. So boom, you done counted him out. He don't even want to talk to you. Then you see Puffy, and Puffy's like, ooh, I had an ex-girlfriend with them blonde braids. I can't even see past it. I ain't into it. Boom. So you cut out Puffy. And DJ Khaled is like, you know, you the best. But you know, I like to stick to working with rappers and the people who's established and known already. You have cut your rate down off of a possibility. And cutting your rate down off of a possibility limits you. And I'm not saying that that's ever going to be the case, you know. Somebody there heard it and was like, you know, I want to produce your next album. Oh, well, that's cool. That's awesome. But that's not a guarantee. That's not solid. That shouldn't interfere with your rate. So that's what I said on establishing your rate, the video establishing your rate. Now, what I will say as a new singer that nobody knows, you don't have no skin in the game, someone presents you with that opportunity, it might be okay. But what you also have to keep in mind is that these brunches are for your celebrity affluent, and a lot of times they just there to chill. They there for a photo op, and they there to chill, and they there to bust it up with the homies, and that's it. Like, they don't really want a new naggy singer. Oh my gosh, can I please get a picture? Oh my gosh, I'm your biggest fan. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I would love to work with you. Like, it's nice. Okay, thank you. That's cool. But you're not gonna make a lot of headway that way. It's nice if you want to do it and be around and be in the scene, you know, digging the scene on the gangster lean, but it's kind of, it's not what you want to hang your hat on for currency. It's not it's not a guarantee that it's going to advance your career. It's a nice opportunity to be there, but essentially you keep plugging away at it, you'll be there on your own. But it's not necessarily the opportunity buster that you're looking for. And therefore, it shouldn't encroach on your rate. That being said, as a newbie singer, it could be good for you, per se, to rub elbows with a lot of those folks. It could actually be amazing. And it'd be cool. It could be good to, like, okay, well, you know, we heard you go viral with that "Living My Best Life" video. So yeah, we want you to come sing the Black National Anthem. We're only going to pay you $100, but you can you'll have, you know, access. That could be an opportunity. You know, you just have to remember the setting. You have to remember what's happening. You have to remember, you know, Quincy Jones, you may not want to be bothered, you know, by me and my millions of questions. But it could be nice. So I'm saying that to say you really have to gauge, one, but two, as a newbie singer, like me doing I'm gonna just be honest. If someone called me and was like, "Hey, we want you to sing the Black National Anthem for Rock Nation brunch," we're not gonna pay you your regular rate, but you will be able to enjoy the brunch. And obviously, there's gonna be a lot of photo ops, and there'll be a lot of content, and blah 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 blah. For me as an indie artist, like, okay, I could think about that. But I understand my mentality is different too. It's not like I'm not walking in there like I'm going to make these connects and these contacts. Because a lot of those folks I kind of already know. So, and a lot of the folks I know, they're folks. So it's kind of like there's a different leverage there. Like you can discount my rate because I'm singing a song for 2 minutes. Like I get that. But I'm not looking at the being in the brunch as such an opportunity to come up on, because it's not for me. It just wouldn't, so if I were to say, okay, fine, I'll do that. You know what? For the brunch and the food, who's the chef? I'm curious. Um, if they say, hey, we're going to pay you 800, sing this Lift Every Voice, I could be like, you know what, little $800 and get these revolt pictures, and you know what? Yeah, why not? Now the position that I'm in, it kind of changes. It's like, oh, okay, well, we've seen you, we know you, whatever. So I can move a little bit different. I'm not gonna be running up to everybody asking for photo ops. I'm not gonna be doing the most. Like, I'm not gonna, because that's not what I'm there for. And I'm not expecting that to be a thing of a leverage. Like, I'm not expecting that to launch my career. But if I were a newbie singer, and this is again for my newbies, my switching lanes singers, you really have to think about, well, am I expecting this to launch my career? Am I expecting this to, because you're going to move different. I told you, everything starts in the mind. You're going to move different. But discounting the rate and having access and that opportunity to have content and to come off the cusp of something going viral, I think it's smart. I think it's dope. You just can't expect that the next best thing is going to be at this brunch. And you can't expect to make all these connections and get all these numbers at this brunch. So, yeah. Now, why do I say it's okay as a newbie or a switching the lane kind of singer? Because, ooh, I also gave the example of Beyonce. You are called to open for Beyonce. You've got kind of like a similar sound with Beyonce. Your audiences are similar, and right now she's doing like 50,000 people arenas. So say hypothetically, because you're opening, you're not necessarily going to be at the prime time when she's on, where all 50,000 people are going to be there. But you are opening, and let's say 25,000 people are going to be there. These are all people that are your fans. These are the same folks. Y'all would be on the same Spotify playlist. You would be on the same Pandora radio station, technically. So that is a really good opportunity. And if they say, hey, we know that your rate is this, but we're going to pay you this, and it's 3 shows that we really want you to open for, that's a great opportunity that you should probably be discounting your rate for, because the opportunity is making up for the rate. It's a guarantee, right? As a newbie, you're getting exposure. Oh, at least 25,000 people I know for all 3 of these shows are going to see who I am. And because I know that they like Beyonce and we share the same fans, they're going to sign up. They're going to say, hey. And I'm not saying all 25,000 of them will sign up, but say 1% of them signs up. You have already made a bigger impact than the brunch where you're expecting to have a one-on-one with Quincy Jones and him to produce your next album. And he's like, ain't nobody doing it. You see what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down. So I say that to say that I do think that it is favorable for new singers to discount their rates and new singers to leverage the type of exposure and getting out there. And I think it's realistic. So the example I also want to give is, say not hypothetically, businesses that you don't know exist, right? When they want to get their name out there and they want to get people to come in, what is the main thing they do? They send out coupons. They send out discount codes. Any site you go to now, I can bet. I don't bet. Well, sometimes I do. But I could bet that any site that is selling something that you go to now for the first time and you put your name in there, or not your name, but you put the site in there and they go, oh, sign up for our mailing list and get this discount. 100% all of them do that. That's first of all. Second of all, a new site, a grand opening, a newbie site, they typically discount their rates to get people to come inside, to get you to see who they are, to get you to fall in love with their services, to get you to fall in love with their products. They're typically discounting their rates. I mean, I know even hairdressers who will be like, "Oh, it's a new customer 10% off," because they want to get you inside. They want to get you through the door, and they want to get you excited about who they are and what they do. You see what I'm saying? The same is true when you're new, because the thing is that it's holding the same commonality. Don't nobody know who you are. They don't know who you are. And it's not you cheapening your brand or cheapening your services or cheapening yourself. If you go to establishing my rate, one of the very first factors of the formula is, how long have you been doing what you've been doing, aka your experience. And if you don't have any, like, that's a thing. You like part of this whole thing is experience. You know, that's a huge currency. When you have experience in the game, people, oh, okay. Oh, she do this. Oh, okay. Let me hear. If you don't have any, they're already skeptical. They don't know who you are. They kind of like, oh, okay. What you want me to do with this? What's up? So you're breaking down some of those defenses already, and you're leveraging your experience, your zero experience, to not. I mean, you could do that with anybody. You go to the doctor, you want to know how long the doctor been practicing, right? You go to I gotta make a dentist appointment. I gotta figure out what dentist I want to go to. How long you been practicing? Where'd you learn from? The same is true for singing. People want to know where you've come from, what you've studied under, and how long you've been doing it. And when you don't have that, you have to offer something a little bit. You've got to entice the people, if you will. And it's not for nothing, but it's really the name and the nature of business. This is why I said on the very first day that the very first thing that you need to do is change your mentality. You have to change your mentality that you are a business, because if you don't accept and wrap your mind around you being a business, you're not going to move and operate like one. So what does this look like in like action, right? What this looks like as a new singer, as a professional singer who's decided, okay, I'm going to do this professionally. You take the initiative a little bit. You know, you say, hey, I'm a vocal producer, and here, check out some of you send these links off. Check out some of the links on some of these covers that I've done and I've vocal produced. Um, this is what I do. And I'm also offering a special rate at blah 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 for my services. Book me for 4 hours and I'm at this rate. Book me for, you know what I'm saying? Like it's discounted, if you will, but you're at the same time taking the initiative to put yourself out there, and you understand the position that you're in. Okay, look, I'm a new singer. So if I'm a new singer, people are already going to be leery because I don't have a lot of experience. So what does that look like? What does that mean? How do I do this? It's not for nothing. It's for something. Trust me. Because businesses across the globe do this. And again, discount does not mean free. It doesn't mean that if you discount yourself that you're saying my services are free. So if you're a vocal producer and you're like, hey, these are the links and this is how I do vocal production, these are the last, 3 songs that I did, it doesn't mean that you're like, and I'm going to produce your song for you for free. Now, if you feeling led to do that, that's on you. But discount does not mean free. And the other thing that I want people to really understand is you do discounting when need be, and then also realize that don't stay in the habit of this. This is building something. You're gaining something from this. You're gaining experience, you're gaining exposure, and you're gaining sharpening your skills. So I'm gonna stay on the vocal production example, but now, okay, I've got 4 artists that I have vocal produced for, and they all love my work. And here's the proof that I did the vocal production behind it. You got a foot in the door by showing people who you are and what you do, and by being at a different rate, a lower rate, if you will, because you understand, yes, I still got value. I'm still cool because this is why I'm showing you what it is that I can do. But I also understand that I don't have enough skin in the game yet to really be charging Missy Elliott prices. And that's okay, because even Missy Elliott started somewhere. Okay. So I'm an advocate for discounting your rate, if you will. And even that word seems negative, and it's not intended to be, but it's just like I said, if you're thinking about a nail salon down the block, right? The nail salon, the grand opening, we don't know none of them people from Adam, but they're trying to draw you in. So what are they saying? Hey, come in 20% off of their off services. You get to experience how well they do nails. You get to see what their customer service looks like. You get to see how they handle any adversity in terms of, like, if the line is around the corner, how they handle their customers. I guess that would fall under customer service, but nonetheless, businesses do this everywhere. This is how they get you to come into their business. They initiate, and then they offer a discount. And the same should be true. I won't say should be true. However, if you are trying to make the switch, or if you're trying to really get into the singing game, there's nothing wrong with discounting your rate. But again, discount does not mean free. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're like, I'm going to just pimp my voice out here for anybody. It does not mean free. But at the same time, it's having a true reality of understanding, oh man, I've only got 6 months in doing this. And that's not a lot of time. So I have to make smart business moves so that I can gain more experience. Because here's the other thing. I would even say that experience may even out trump time. Because if you've worked with, say you've been working, doing, I don't know, backgrounds, we'll say backgrounds, right? You've been doing background singing for 8 months, but you've worked with 4 different major artists. People are going to pay a little bit more attention to you because of your experience. No one artist is created equal. So having that experience, and I say this in the establishing your rate video, but it goes with time. There's nothing that could completely out trump out time. But at the same time, having that experience gives you a few more years, if you will, in the professional game. And so the way that you have to leverage that is you have to gain more experience. You know, it's different in the music industry than it is in corporate. In corporate, you give them a resume with 14 different jobs listed down there doing the same thing. They're going to say, "Yo, what's wrong with you? Why do you have 14 different jobs? What happened? Why did you keep getting fired?" Or that's what they're going to think. What happened? You know? And then if you're like, "Well, I left, you know, after I got the experience I needed, I just moved on over here." They're going to be like, "Are you crazy? Why did you do that? Like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you be consistent?" We don't want anybody that's not. They're going to look at you like there's something wrong. But in the music industry, when you have experience and when you have time in the game, they're going to be like, "Huh, okay. All right. You know, okay, tell me about your experience with," oh man, I keep hitting this. "Tell me about your experience singing background for Music Soul Child. Tell me about your experience in singing background with," you know, and I don't really know any artists that's sitting anybody down corporate style interviewing them. But they will okay, so you sang with Lizzo, that's cool. Okay, so you sang with Usher, oh wow, that's amazing. The residency down in Vegas, oh wow, that's dope. Okay, you sang with Alicia Keys. They're gonna look at you as like, "Oh, you're good that people are referring you," or "You're good that you're able to get these couple different gigs here and there." And they're going to look at you a little bit different. And sometimes you have to create some of those opportunities. So what does that mean? You got to leverage what you got. Now, I ain't saying hit Alicia Keys up in her DM and be like, "Hey girl, I'm trying to sing background for you. I'll do it for $200. Like, I'm not saying doing that like at all. But what I am saying is that if said Alicia Keys comes to you and goes, "Yo, I really like your style and your vibe," or her people, because she's probably never going to come to you, but "I like your style and your vibe. I really want to bring you on the road as an additional background singer. Here's our budget." And so she comes to you with a budget of, I don't know what would be asinine, 450. And you ain't never been on the road. You ain't never really sang for too many folk. And this is a tour that's like 3 months long. That's something to say, you know. I think I'm quitting Burger King and I'm gonna go on the road with Alicia Keys. Yes, you know, it's not a whole bunch of money, but that experience and even that life experience. She's like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a US tour and we're doing a Euro tour." I would suggest signing up. And yeah, it might seem like, I mean, 450, like that's kind of crazy. 450 a show. I mean, you gotta you gotta weigh and leverage and see what makes sense. Because now at this point, you're on the road with Alicia Keys for 3 to 4 months. Not only are you meeting now, not only are you going to the brunch for free and for like as a singer. And so now Quincy Jones sees you and he goes, "Oh, you're the one that sang with Alicia, right? Yeah. Oh man, amazing job. Amazing job." It leverages you different. It puts you in a different space, if you will. And that's something you really got to think about and you really have to pay attention to. So those are some of the pros and cons of discounting. Yes, I'm throwing air quotes around it because I don't want the negative connotation that comes with discounting to be a negative or a thing, because it shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. But what it should be, or could be rather, is an opportunity. But you really have to be honest with yourself, and you really have to understand and weigh your options. Like, what's happening here? You know, I personally am not going to take a tour with Alicia Keys at $450 a show. Why? Because I've not I've been singing for some time now. So that for me is not going to be for me. You know, that's not going to be a rate for me. That's not going to be a benefit for me, if you will. But some of my proteges or some of the folks that I have at the background view, they would absolutely knock down that opportunity or knock down my door for that opportunity, because it will put them in a different position. It'll put them in a different light. So a discounted rate, and they might have a rate in their mind. They might have actually been have been singing for some time, You know, there's some folks I'm thinking of even now where I've even put them on gigs. So they've gotten some exposure. They've been around some folks. And so they might see that and be like, ooh, it's a little low. But you said I'm on the road for 3 to 4 months and it is with Alicia Keys and I am doing what shows? Because it kind of changes the game. And it goes a little bit with one of these other things I talked about. It goes with everything that I've talked about, aside from establishing your rate. It's another video on here where it talks about understanding, it's not goals. I want to say it's self-discipline though, but it's like understanding your rate and what you're trying to do. So if you are trying to be a professional background singer, like say that's just what you want to do. There's a lot of folks out there that I know that that's all they want to do. They like, yo, I just want to sing background. That's it. Like I want to sing background professionally. That's it. I want to be a career background singer. And so this would be a cool opportunity for them because they want their portfolio to be filled with a bunch of different artists that they've sung background for and just have that experience. So these are things, you know? But you have to, this is why it's important for you to really understand who you are as a business, as a singer, so that and goals. We talked about goals yesterday, but really setting goals, because once you set those goals, you know exactly which way to go or how to walk in those goals. So yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with discounting your rate as a beginning singer or as a singer who is shifting. And this even goes for my wedding singers. Say I got wedding band singers, right? And they're like, you know what? I really want to make the shift to independent singing, or as an indie singer, or as a background singer, or as a vocal producer. You're known for this one thing, right? So now you're flipping on over here to this other thing. It's a different space. So people don't necessarily know you there. You're not branded as that. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. And that is something that you want to take into account. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I hope that this was helpful. Again, I'm going to link once this finally loads, but I'm going to link the establishing your rate video as well as the rest of the playlist of this. But each of these videos really work in tandem with the other. And each of them really do. And isn't me bigging myself up, but there really are nuggets in here that you really want to apply and you really want to move towards, because being a professional singer, like the first thing I said, really is about your mentality changing. Okay, I no longer sing. And I know some folks will take it personal, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to ever have it be professional singing because then it won't be fun no more. It's like, okay, well, then that's your prerogative. You also have to understand that you're going to be limited in that thought process. That's going to keep you in a certain way. So if you want to sing and you want to sing professionally, the first thing you have to do is change your mindset. You have to say, you know what? All right, I no longer just sing for fun. Like, this is my business. So you start to look at other businesses and how they do business, and you apply it to you as a business, and you apply it to you as the business of singing as a business. And it literally, I promise you, it seems like such a trite statement of me to say, but it does start to change how you move. It literally starts to change how you view your time. It literally starts to change how you start to become self-disciplined. It literally starts to change how you set your goals. And once those things change, you're going to move a lot differently. Being a discounted singer, if you will, is not going to be as offensive as some people would take it, as much as they would look at it as an opportunity. All right, you know what? I ain't finna take this personal, like, but I'm about to get this opportunity to write this hook for Travis Scott, and I really thought I was gonna get this amount, but at the end of the day, I'm getting this amount, and I'm getting money on the back end, and I'm getting the credit. You start to look at things differently. It's not just about chasing a bag. It's about establishing yourself and the longevity of it, right? So no, I'm not gonna just take this $1,500 get what you call it, studio session because it's $1,500. They about to work me for 15 hours in 3 days. That's stupid. I'm not doing that. And then I don't have any leverage to do anything else, and I'm not even getting credit. Like, you really will start to change your mindset. It's not just a hobby for you. It's not just something to say that you did per se, if it's not benefiting you as a business, as a singer. Yeah. So for my newbie singers, it's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there. It's nothing wrong with you singing. It's nothing wrong. My newbie vocal producers, it's nothing wrong with you doing covers and doing vocal production and sending it off to artists and being like, yo, this is what I do. And they hear it and they like, yo, you kind of sick. Yo, we want to get you in the studio. There's nothing wrong with that, because in business, you create your opportunity. That's what businesses do. They create these opportunities. I gave the example of the nail salon. The nail salon is out here sending out the coupons. Hey, we are new. We are down the street, around the corner. We giving 20% off for the month of July because we are new and we want you to experience us as a new nail company. We promise you we will kill the game. And then you go in there and they offering champagne. They having you sit in these little plush seats. They got colors that don't nobody else that anybody else seen. They already kind of low on the price, but then you get another 20% off. You like, wait a second, this might be my new nail salon. You know, you get your nails done and you like, oh, my nails ain't never looked so good. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at yourself as a business in that way and you create yourself opportunities in that way, and it don't mean that you get stuck in that place forever, but it means that you remember and know that you are in a competitive business singing. Everybody's a singer. I'm from Philly, so everybody's a singer. But you put yourself in a competitive space, or you already naturally are in a competitive space, and you need to be able to stand out, and you need to be able to stand apart and hey, get someone's attention. And that might seem thirsty to some people, but they the people that haven't established the mindset that this is a business and this is your business of singing, you know? So that's all I got. Those are your pros and cons. I mean, there weren't too many cons, but really just a thorough breakdown on discounting your rate as a professional singer, what that means and what that looks like. And not feeling weird or icky about it, like understanding that in business in general, that's how people get down in business and in general. So why shouldn't you? Again, it does not mean free, and it does not mean pimp your gift either. Okay. It just means understanding what it is that you want to stand for, how it is that you want to show up as a business, as a singer, and what would contribute to that brand, if you will. So like for me, I'll give an example. I'm a singer, I'm an indie singer, and I'm a songwriter. I'm from Philly. I've done background singing for years on years on years. And, you know, I'm going to put a project out soon. I keep saying it. I'm going to put a project out soon. In putting out that project, you know, how do I want to show up as a singer? Like, what does that look like in this phase in my life? What does that look like sound wise? What exactly does that mean? What does that look like? And so in doing that, you know, say I keep using Missy. Lord, let me work with Missy. But say Missy calls me and she's like, Tanikka, yo, you know, I heard some of your vocal production is great. I would love to get you in the studio. And, you know, we're going to do a reproduction of 702's album. Oh, sign me up. That's awesome. That sounds amazing. And so I sign up and, you know, she's going to give me some credit. She's going to also give me, you know, she's going to pay me a little something in the beginning, but you know, more of it's on the back end. And it's kind of like, yo, that's dope. That's an opportunity. That's what I would like. That's a part of my brand of being a business of a singer. That's one of the things that I do. So yes, I would love to do this. This would be amazing. Let's do it. Missy, if you're listening, I am available after the month of November or now until early August. But either way. So, yeah, so I say, okay, you know, let's do that. Let's get up in the studio. Let's vibe. Let's do the thing. Let's get these records. And we do. And it's great. But it adds to some of the goals that I have. It adds to what it is and how I'm trying to show up and as a brand. And it makes sense for what I'm doing. And so now I go to drop my project in November and I have some more accolades to throw out there. Or I even can hit Missy up like, Missy, I need a record. And she goes, I got you. And I go, yes. So it's just that you have to really know how you want to show up and set these goals. Like, go back and listen to the one from yesterday. Goals are really, really important. I gave 4 key goals that all professional singers should have. But it really also goes to your goals, because then you're not just meandering through life. Which way am I going? You are, boom, I want to do this. Boom, I want to do this. Hey, I want to hit that. Yes, that's my goal. Like, that's what you want to do. Okay, I'm signing off for real this time. All right. So I hope that this helped, and I hope that this benefits you. If so, please comment, subscribe, and share. Share to all of your singer friends. Share to all of your musician friends. Share, share, share. Get it on out there. Let them hear what it is that they need to be doing as their business. Okay? All right.